Hello, hello, Rise and Thrive Together community. Welcome to our Monday night edition on August 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we begin, I just want to share with you a little bit about Rise and Thrive Together. We are a vibrant community committed to educating, empowering, and equipping you to get the results you want through real talk, real actions, and real results. So what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? That means that each week, Raquel and I get to come on here and have a conversation with you. This month, we have been talking about vision in action. And so we've shared our personal lives and we've brought on guests for you to be able to kind of dive deep into that question. What is vision in action? Do you have a vision that is clear? Are you committed to it? And are you taking consistent action steps to have the results that you want in your life? And so that's just a little bit about our community, and you can find us through the easiest social media platforms. Raquel has made it brilliant with our brand Rise and Thrive Together. So you can find us on Rise and Thrive Together in Instagram, YouTube, and here on Facebook. And we do have a private Facebook community if you want to join in called Rise and Thrive Together Community. So with no further ado, I'm excited. I have not talked to her in like 4 days, and that's a lot in our world since we have so much that we're up to and we're supporting one another personally and individually and then together. My sister from another mister. Hello, Raquel. Raquel, how are you to this evening?
Hey, I'm doing well. We are also on Roku TV channel Laws of Life with Blanca, okay? Usually she does it all. She's great with it. But I got it in today. All right, so we are supposed to be having a guest tonight. He is having some technical difficulties. We are hoping he will be able to join us. I believe, is he in Ecuador, sis? Or is he here in the US?
I am not sure where he's coming into at this moment. He's like right now personally texting us through the beautiful social media platform of Facebook, and he is going to work on trying to get onto his laptop and get back in here.
Awesome. And these things happen. It's technology. We're good with it. So, like Reg was talking about, this month was all about vision and action. Last week, we covered inspiration and motivation for your vision. How are you guys doing with your vision? Like, did you build it? Are you building on it? Did you create it? Where are we with it? And as Reg said, this weekend we had not really spoken. I was in Utah for a conference for one of my businesses. And those of you that know may not know, Reg is preparing for a concert in New York. When, Reg? September 30th?
September 30th, I am going to be on Long Island, borderline of Queens and Williston Park. 25 years of being the lead singer and entertainer in the band Outlet. So thank you so much for sharing that. And that is a huge vision, right? A huge vision in action. I hopped on a plane. The band is taking care of me. They bought my tickets. They picked me up. They got me a place to stay and talk about what it takes to have your vision in action. My flight, and I'd love to hear about yours, about Utah and what that's about. But my flight was supposed to take off at 11 and didn't take off until 3:30. Now, rehearsal was at 8 o'clock. So if they canceled the flight, there really wasn't any really particular reason to go in the vision of having a rehearsal because nobody can meet the next day. And we just all stood together in that vision. We had a very, very clear goal. And I got on that plane. I was singing by 8 o'clock until 12 p.m. It was
Wow.
probably the most extraordinary rehearsal we've ever had. It looks like we're going to be selling out. Like,
Awesome.
yep. And then back on the plane on Sunday at 7 a.m. to have my second vision in action, which is an amazing masterclass. I'm a Zumba instructor, for some of you guys don't know. And I'm the event's creator and planner. So I helped a dear friend of mine who had this vision. She is a Barbie crazy theme woman. And the movie is like the hugest, it's reached the all time high of any movie. And she created the Barbie and Friends theme masterclass with 8 women, powerful, talented women. One of them is me. And we sold out of that event, 75 people at
Wow.
that masterclass. And we taught everything. And we just, as a community, had so much fun dressing up. So I'm kind of keeping the bling going and like just giving it our all different types of genres of music. Soca, we did hip hop, we did pop. My girlfriend came as the Colombian beautiful Barbie, and she did a whole personal dance that she grew up with learning about. And I brought in country. Yeah, people, I can happen, and had her have that vision of her dream to have that happen. And it was beautiful. It was just extraordinary. Couldn't have any more people fit into the place. So that's what's happening with me and Vision in Action. And I want to
Awesome.
know about Utah. I want to know what's going on. I know your business, but I want to know more.
Utah, mountains, remote area, weekend over. That pretty much was it. The great thing is I got to meet someone via phone that I did not know, but I was on a webcast, a podcast on Friday. And when I met this person, I thought it would be great for her to join that webcast as well. So we're in communication and conversation about that, and of course having her as a guest on Rise and Thrive Together. What we really want to also tell you before we jump back into this vision and action and wrap up the month of August is be prepared. We will be launching a webcast, a webinar. And I'm so used to being on a webcast. A webinar October 14th, details to follow. My suggestion is save the date because I am 100% sure that tickets are going to go very, very quickly. It is going to be virtual, and it's going to be a surprise person that's teaming up with us, and you'll know more details later. I just wanted to whet your palate and let you know that that's coming up. So block off October 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? All right. That's announcement. Let's talk about, oh, Joanna said congrats on a successful masterclass.
Thanks, Joanna.
So congratulations. Let's take a dive into this vision in action. I want to pick it up. So, something else. How about being able, sis, to adapt and be flexible? Should that be a part of your vision in action? Adaptability and flexibility. Audience, jump on in here too.
Awesome. Yes, I'm going to say 100% in the world of, you know, whatever business lingo and coaching lingo, they call it pivot.
Right,
So yeah, man, being flexible and being able to adapt, that's absolutely 100% something definitely that is needed. Again, using the perfect example of we have this huge concert. It's our final 25th anniversary. We have over 100 people attending, lots of moving parts to be live streamed and all of that. And my plane might have not gotten there. So what was going to happen, right? And the band wasn't going to rehearse the next day. So it was right then and there. When's the next time? I'm going to get that ticket, get that weekend, change my ticket, pay that, difference and make that happen, right? And while other people, because remember, it's their mindset was like freaking out. And it was just beautiful. I got to say, I mean, I was in the airport all day and it
right,
was so since I was so clear because I had my vision. I knew, like, okay, life happens, right? Life happens. I knew the next dates. I'm like, well, I'll pay the difference. Like,
right,
I'll just pay the difference for my ticket. And you guys can rehearse. There's another female singer that's there. She's done my songs because she's been in the band. Go rehearse. And they're
right.
like, but it's you. And I'm like, you've been with me for 25 years. Like, here's the thing when you say adapt, I'm confident. I'm telling you now,
Mm,
like I know my stuff. I've done my
awesome.
homework. I do my homework. And just because what I knew in the past doesn't mean that I'm just going to sit back and do nothing.
Right.
Like I did my homework and I'm really like I'm celebrating myself. The band was like, Oh my God, this is the best you've ever sound.
Well, you know what, sis? Somebody else wants to celebrate with you. Our guest is here. He
Woo!
has arrived. Technical difficulties has been resolved, and we are good and ready to go. Our guest is Juan Antonio Cevallos. He is a passionate and talented international awarded actor, Bloodshot Films director. I want to know more about that. He's a film producer, international published model, certified marketing and mentor, coach, brand ambassador. He's born in Ecuador, South America. He is just an amazing person, and we are so delighted that you got it working and that you're here with us, Juan.
Great. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful. I'm so filled up with gratitude. And I'm ready. I'm ready really to just, rise and thrive together.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. We need to keep you as our PR person. Oh, let me give you a plug. On our Facebook, both the Rise and Thrive Together and Reg, her website. I'm on the web today.
It is. It's
Her
on everywhere.
her personal Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. You'll see like a little skit that was done. Our guest, Antonio. I like Antonio. Would you prefer Antonio or Juan? I like Antonio.
Antonio is pretty sexy.
I think so
Yes, that's
too.
what I was
That's why I
thinking.
like it. Juan is like so ordinary. Sorry to all the Juans out there, but it is. I like Antonio. It's something that flows off the tongue. So that's great. Antonio actually produced that skit that you saw to promote our show tonight with him. So he does a tremendous, tremendous job. I really want to know. I see your post on Facebook. I see you always have blood on you. You're always holding a bloody knife or a gun. What's up with that?
What's up with that? well, I'm a producer, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an actor. So what you're really talking about right now is my latest film. It's called Devil's Playground. It's a gangster story from 1950. So it has a lot of blood, passion, gunshots. It's really incredible. So it took me a lot of effort to actually build the project, and the story is pretty interesting. I'm a writer as well. The talented cast was awesome. Even included an international model called Angela Renee from the United States. So, acting and coaching, I'd say they are my passion for sure, definitely.
Wow. So when is that film coming out? Are you still in production?
No, it's actually I already premiered the film on social media, and right now, if you go to the IMDb, you can actually find it there. My IMDb acting name is Antonio Cevallos. You can browse it there, and it's ready. or
Wow.
or
Awesome.
you can go to YouTube, Bullshot Films, and just sit back, relax, and watch it. It's amazing.
I can tell you it's going to be loud. Every time I see him, he's bloody. And I know how that sounds, but it's so true. Every time I see him on Facebook, he's got blood or a gun or something, but it is so cool. So Bloodshot Films, they can go to
That's right, Bullshot Films. That's right.
awesome, awesome, awesome. And where can they go? Say it again.
They
I
can go
am
to they can go to YouTube, and they can find me on my IMDb website, the generic page for international actors. They can find me on my IMDb as Antonio Cevallos.
awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
Notice no one, right? Okay. Sorry, sis. Go ahead.
So here we go. We're going to go right into it.
All right.
Here we are. We were just talking before you came on, Antonio, about vision and action and, what that looks like, right? Like, what's the vision and the importance of clear vision, having a very clear vision, making sure that you are taking consistent actions that, steps to have that vision come to fruition, accountability. And Raquel brought something up into the attention of like, you know, what happens when circumstances get in the way? Like, I think, how did you say it, sis? What was like the two exact words you used?
Adaptability and flexibility.
So, adaptability and flexibility. Was it important? Is it important? And I said yes. And I just figured you're the person to speak on that because, yeah, you had to definitely adapt and be flexible to get on here this evening.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much. All right, and it's such an important topic because adaptability and what was the other term?
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Flexibility have one restraint. and that restraint is procrastination.
Mm.
Uh, before we talk about it, because before we talk about being flexible or adapt, you really have to work on procrastination, and it's just precisely one of my main topics today, talking about a very important tool to actually manage procrastination, right? Because what happens if we're looking, as you're saying, to be flexible, to adapt, but what happens if along the way you procrastinate? We're having a
Mm.
huge problem, right? A huge, huge problem. Let me tell you this, by procrastination, we got to take in accountability social media, Facebook, Instagram. There's a lot of distractions nowadays. Gosh, videos of this and that, YouTube. I mean, we are exposed to losing time. I mean, I got to be honest. That is one weakness of our social development, you
Mm.
know. So
Mm.
here's the deal, right? If we want to focus, we have to be very aware of actually taking in accountability this question: what could be wrong? It's simple as that. What could be wrong? So here's an example, right? I have a huge, huge thesis work for my upcoming degree of economics, right? And gosh, Netflix is actually premiering its new Third Blood series, which is totally awesome. So, which one am I gonna choose first? Now, here's the hint: uh, immediate gratification.
Mm.
Which one of both will give you immediate gratification?
Netflix.
I was
Net
about to say Netflix.
That is correct. Netflix. I want to go and sit back, relax, and watch the new premiere of Third Blood. So we as humans, our brain actually chooses by nature, subconsciously, immediate gratification instead of choosing a long-term prize, which is actually doing your thesis so you can graduate. So that's when you actually procrastinate and leave things for another day,
Mm.
right? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the main problem of the generations today. I
Mm.
mean, and I gotta be honest, me myself, I've been through that. I mean, I've gone through it, and there comes a time if you have Netflix, I just put Netflix as an example, but if you're just watching TV or whatever, there comes a time where you're saying, "Oh my God, I'm wasting time here." But it's cool. Let's just kick back and let's see what's new on the Netflix network. So this is a very important message. I'd love to send the viewers at this very moment. When you're facing that procrastination process, just like an angel and the devil, right? So the devil is about actually that immediate gratification process, and the angel is actually the long term prize you're going to earn. So here's the thing: what we ought to do is, of course, go forward, pick the angel, pick actually the long term prize, but we gotta just betray our brains. Yeah, that's right. We gotta lie to our brains. So we're gonna say, okay, after you've done 30 minutes or even 1 hour of your thesis work, document, or whatever you're working on, after 1 hour, I'm gonna watch maybe 20 minutes of Netflix, right?
Wait,
Because
wait, wait. I got to stop you there.
oh,
20
all right.
minutes of Netflix? What the heck can I watch in 20 minutes?
You're right. You're right. But you're totally right. But the thing here is that you don't actually cut the immediate gratification, because if you cut it, you automatically are going to act in the pattern of an addict, right?
Mm.
An addict just can't leave the drink all at once. Cut it. It's so difficult. He's gotta go step by step. And I gotta be so drastic and comparing this to maybe alcoholism, because gosh, I mean, social media really makes you an addict. I mean, we gotta face facts here, ladies. It's true.
Yep.
So now that we have manage to actually reward ourselves, every single half an hour, as the example was actually contemplated to be. Now we can escape our fun period of time and continue on working on our
Mm.
thesis work. So, if you actually ask the question, going back to what I was explaining, what can go wrong? You're gonna answer yourself pretty quick. Yeah, this can go wrong. Well, I'm just trying to concentrate and focus on my thesis. I'm going to be distracted by Netflix, by Instagram, by Facebook. I mean, that's true. That really happens. So take out a piece of paper. What can go wrong? And we gotta write. Because writing, it's such a very important process of a neuro-linguistic pattern, because our minds, our writing are connected. While we
Yep.
write, we tend, to get information the better, the fastest, and in a very effective way that we can actually retain it in our brains and then reflect it on our behavior. So that would be the first thing, to move on to flexibility and be able to adapt. Manage procrastination, as far as
Well,
I'm concerned.
Antonio, you are going to be in for a big surprise. I am a procrastinator.
We all are. We
I
all are.
did
Me
it.
too.
I did it all through college. If my assignment was due the next day, you better believe right now, whatever time it is, I'm now working on it. And what you're describing in psychology is called time box method.
Yep.
It's where you allow yourself that gratification, whatever it is that you want for a certain time. You work for a period of time, then you take a break and do whatever it is you want to do. But it takes discipline, it takes commitment, because the key is to go back to the task that you were working on. So time box, some people, do you have methods? But before we do that, here we go. Um, Joanna says, LOL, people love to binge Netflix. That's me too, Joanna. I am, but don't listen to me. I just have some habits that are, I don't say they're bad, they're just habits. And yes, I still get my stuff done. Joanna also says flexible flow like a river that works its way around rocks, islands, debris, boat wreckage, etc. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. What do you have to say to that, Antonio? One about me being a procrastinator.
All right. Flexible. First, let's. As far as Joanna, yeah, flexible flow like a river, right? If
Hmm.
you want to be flexible, cut procrastination. And as far as procrastination, a mantra that has really worked out pretty good for me, and it's still working pretty good. It's the phrase, it's now or never. Gosh, I carry that with me every single time. Now or never, which means if I don't even dare to care about doing that very precise moment, forget it. I ain't doing it tomorrow or the day after it. It's now or never. I mean that if you get it, just print it inside of your brain. It works 100%. And if you link that, to have you ever girls, have you ever taken a cold shower,
Yep.
right?
Negative.
When you're taking a cold shower, there's no time where well there's in preference, there's no time to just think twice. Oh my god, it's cold, I'm just gonna put my hand. You just get inside and just get used to the cold water and go for it. Dive in, and boom, you freeze, but then of course you're gonna feel the energy, the heat of
Yep.
the cold water. So when you're bathing in cold water, especially me, I bathe in cold water every single day. And this is something I learned from Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins
Hmm.
loves to bathe himself, to take cold baths. Why? This is the reason why. Because uh, he actually knows the water's cold, but when he mentions the word "go," in his mind, there's no going back. He just jumps on the water and boom. I mean, period. There's no, oh, it's cold. No, I'm not going to go in. No, you go in and that's it. Go for it. So it's similar to just taking a cold shower. So when you say it's now or never, you automatically know that if you don't do it right now, forget it. You ain't doing it the next day. I mean, trust me, it works 100%.
I'm gonna be devil's advocate.
All right,
Eh,
all right, all right.
I am. So I get it, right? But the bottom line is for many people, including myself, that whole now or never, because you're saying to me it's 100% of the time. And you're saying, like, hey, it's gonna, it works. It doesn't work. It is a small, actionable step to take. And it takes a lot of um, failures, a lot of time, like
Yeah.
attempts. I've done the cold shower thing on a whole different level
Yeah.
for your lymphatic system. I'm like freezing. It took me like 20 minutes before I finally jumped in and went, and then was like, and then jumped back out, right? And like, I'm clear, I'm going to do it again. So one of those things where we have something to do, if to now or never, there are things that maybe it took me much longer to do. That's on me, but it took me much longer. There are things I've definitely never done. But I think the conversation is for me about commitment and what, like we've talked about, what's that fire that keeps it going? Because the ones that fall off the way, the one that's like that paper, there's like, a college, my professor, am I going to get a D? I may not get the A. I might get the C. I might wait last minute, whatever it is. It's done because there's something that still is pulling me, called like my grades, called like I spent $4,000 on this class, called like my degree means something. But other things may not be that way, right? Other things
Right.
may be, sorry, I'm just smiling, that, other things might fall off the way now or never. And then that has me stop and think, like you said, think that question you ask, because it's like, was that really that important to me, that committed? Am I that committed to it? And if I am, what's
Well, you're totally right. Actually, I was just thinking that, if you don't experience failures, if you don't actually come aware about this issue until you've failed many times, it's not gonna work, because when you say now, it's now or never. It's like, gosh, of course, I've had enough many times, falling off, procrastinating. But now, I've had enough, and I'm gonna find, because of my failures, I'm gonna find a mantra or a technique to actually retaliate. That's totally right. And the same as the cold water. The same as the cold water. There are times that you gotta just, of course, go slowly into the water before you can actually get that pattern, that behavior pattern to actually go in. So you're right. So we as human beings, and I really put this as an answer, are really, as a human beings, are accustomed to, of course, sometimes repeat failures to get to the point where we understand that we gotta find a solution. I mean that there's no way back. I mean, we're just built like that, and that's why the path of learning has a purpose. Totally agree with your perception, Regina.
I like perception.
And for me, now or never, suppose it's something I don't need to do now anyway. So if I don't have to do it now, then now or never for me just doesn't apply. It's something I can do later. And because I don't do it now doesn't mean it'll never be done for me. Because there are things that I know I've put off and that just wasn't the right time because of X, Y, and Z. Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace. Maybe my finances were acting kind of funny. And the way my account is set up, it takes like 3 days to transfer money, whatever the case is. But now and I get it. I get if that works for you, now or never. That's your motivation. That's something that you go to get you to go. Yeah, somebody like me, I'll be like, okay, then never. Because for me, it's like you're giving me a choice, and I'm going to take the choice that
But
you would want me to. Uh-huh.
Raquel, but what happens? I know it can work for you and for several people, but here's the risk of it. If you say, of course, I'm gonna do it later, what happens if that later then turns out to 2 days later, or three, or a week, or a month? That's the risky part. So it has happened to me. I've also procrastinated many times, but there just came a time when I said, if I don't say now or never, I know that if I leave it for later, it's going to be never. And it's just becoming aware of the pattern you've created for yourself, just until the day, just until the very hour, just until, gosh, 7:30 p.m. of certain day that you actually come to realize that you've developed a pattern of procrastination.
Right.
Only and precisely that moment you'll be able to adopt the creed of the now or never, or whatever you choose to, but just at that precise moment after many failures.
Right.
That's
So
that's
let's wrap this up here for the folks because we're kind of running out of time.
yeah.
Listen, guys, now or never, understand it works for some and it doesn't for others. And it's okay. You have to know what works for you. Also, Antonio said something very interesting. Right. When you write things down, you tend to remember them more so than if you don't, if you speak it, what have you. Also, y'all, don't binge watch on Netflix. All right, Antonio, thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. And guys, as always, together we can rise and thrive. Till next time.
Thank you.